Goodbye proteinuria. 3 superfoods seniors must have, and 5 you should never touch. Proteinuria, the presence of excess protein in urine, is often one of the earliest warning signs of kidney damage. And if you have kidney disease, every trip to the grocery store is a mission. You're scanning labels like a detective, deciphering codes of sodium, potassium, and phosphorus, the 3 minerals your doctor told you to watch. You reach for the diet soda instead of regular. You grab the low-fat yogurt, not the full-fat. You pick up the salted nuts. It's plant-based. How bad could it be? But what if that very compass you've been so carefully following is leading you into dangerous territory? In the unique landscape of kidney health, it's showing that some of our most trusted healthy habits can become silent saboteurs. This isn't about blaming yourself for past choices. You were following the best advice available. It's about updating your knowledge with kidney-specific insights that most health advice overlooks. In this video, we're going to expose the 5 biggest health imposters on your grocery list, especially when you have proteinuria. And more importantly, we will introduce you to the 3 unexpected guardians that can truly protect your kidneys. It can feel a little confusing, right? Let us know in the comments. Which food are you now looking at a little differently? Because the number 1 danger isn't some exotic ingredient. It's a staple of the healthy diet. And the most powerful protector is probably the last food you'd ever expect. Just so you know, everything in this video is grounded in peer-reviewed research, completely free from marketing bias or miracle cure claims. We've sifted through the science so you can make smart, informed decisions about your health. Before we dive in, here's an important note. We're sharing evidence-based nutritional information, but this isn't individual medical advice. Kidney disease is highly personal. What works depends on your specific stage, labs, and overall health. Always discuss any major dietary changes with your nephrologist or renal dietitian. They know your unique situation and can help you personalize these guidelines. 5 foods that secretly trigger proteinuria. 5. Low-fat dairy. Walk down any grocery aisle and the message is clear. Low-fat is the smart choice. Low-fat milk. Low-fat yogurt. Fat-free cheese. For decades, we've been told that cutting fat from dairy protects our hearts and our waistlines. And if you have kidney concerns or proteinuria, the logic seems even more compelling. Less fat means fewer calories, and surely that's better for your kidneys, right? Not so fast. Here's what happens when you remove fat from dairy. You remove flavor. And food manufacturers know that bland products don't sell. So they replace the fat with sugar. Plain full-fat yogurt contains 8 to 10 grams of natural lactose. Low-fat vanilla yogurt? 25 to 30 grams. That's 15 to 20 grams of added sugar, equivalent to 4 to 5 teaspoons per serving, compensating for the missing fat. That added sugar isn't just empty calories. For your kidneys, excess sugar contributes to insulin resistance, inflammation, and metabolic dysfunction. All processes that accelerate kidney damage and can worsen proteinuria. Remember, metabolic syndrome is one of the strongest risk factors for chronic kidney disease, or CKD for short. When you strip away the fat, you're not just removing calories, you're removing beneficial components. Full-fat dairy contains something called the milk-fat globule membrane, or MFGM for short, a complex structure with anti-inflammatory properties. Research suggests these components might actually support metabolic health. When you skim the fat, you lose them entirely. You also lose satiety. Low-fat dairy doesn't satisfy hunger the way full fat does, often leading to overconsumption or reaching for additional snacks. A 2024 study also found that people consuming the most high-fat dairy had a 24% lower risk of developing CKD. Meanwhile, low-fat dairy showed no protective effect whatsoever. And here's the cruel irony. That cup of low-fat milk still delivers significant milligrams of phosphorus and potassium, the same load your kidneys have to process, but now with the added metabolic stress of sugar on top. Worse still, dairy's natural high concentration of animal protein creates a heavy filtering burden, putting extra stress on already overworked kidneys. If you have kidney disease, work with your renal dietitian on whether dairy fits your plan and in what amounts. If you're going to consume dairy, choose minimally processed, unsweetened, full-fat options. Consider having a small serving of plain, full-fat yogurt or kefir, about half a cup, a few times per week. Read labels obsessively. If sugar is in the top 5 ingredients, it's not a health food. 4. Diet sodas. You switch to diet soda, thinking you've outsmarted the sugar. But have you dodged the real danger? What if that switch might have made things worse, not better? A comprehensive study published in 2024 followed nearly 192,000 UK adults for over a decade. They found a strong association. Drinking more than one sugary soda per day was linked to a 45% increased risk of chronic kidney disease. But the real shocker? For diet soda drinkers, that risk jumped even higher, to 52%. Despite containing 0 calories, artificial sweeteners like sucralose paradoxically disrupt glucose metabolism. Your body detects sweetness on your tongue and prepares for an incoming sugar load, releasing insulin and activating metabolic pathways. But when that sugar never arrives, your metabolic system becomes confused and dysregulated. Over time, this confusion contributes to insulin resistance, elevated blood sugar, and metabolic syndrome, a cluster of conditions that research shows accounts for 18% of the increased kidney disease risk from diet sodas. And remember, diet sodas still contain the same phosphoric acid as regular sodas. The phosphorus in natural foods like nuts or beans is absorbed slowly. But the phosphoric acid in cola is unbound. It bypasses the body's normal checkpoints and floods directly into your bloodstream, hitting it with a force that can overwhelm your kidneys. Also, damaged kidneys can't filter excess phosphorus effectively. Over years of regular consumption, we're talking daily or near-daily intake, this phosphorus overload can contribute to arterial calcification, a gradual process that increases cardiovascular risk and can worsen proteinuria. So, how do you navigate this minefield? The escape isn't finding a better artificial sweetener. It's retraining your palate away from hyper-sweet beverages entirely. Try sparkling water with fresh fruit, unsweetened iced tea, or even plain water with a splash of pure fruit juice. These aren't compromises, they're upgrades that let you hydrate without the metabolic cost. 3. Pickled and canned vegetables. We all know vegetables are cornerstones of a healthy diet. But the moment they enter a jar or a can with salt, a dramatic transformation can happen. To understand why this matters, you need to know the numbers you're working with. For most healthy adults, the recommended sodium limit is around 2,300 milligrams per day, about 1 teaspoon of salt. But if you have CKD or proteinuria, that budget shrinks dramatically. Many kidney specialists recommend staying between 1,500 to 2,000 milligrams daily. And for those with advanced CKD or significant fluid retention, the target can drop even lower. Now, consider this. A single, small pickle can contain nearly 300 milligrams of sodium. That's more sodium than you'd find in a snack-size bag of potato chips, all packed into one seemingly innocent bite. If you're working with a 1,500 milligram daily budget, that one pickle just consumes 20% of your entire day's allowance before you've even had a meal. Excess sodium forces your body to retain water, building pressure throughout your circulatory system and raising blood pressure. This sustained pressure damages your kidney's delicate filtering units, causing them to break down permanently and trigger scarring and proteinuria. Worse still, sodium silently undermines the very medications, like ACE inhibitors prescribed to shield your kidneys from proteinuria, dramatically weakening their protective power. But here's the good news. You hold the power to neutralize this risk. Your best move is always to choose fresh or frozen vegetables. But if you find yourself reaching for a can, think like a label warrior. When you see a can labeled reduced sodium, remember that FDA regulations state reduced sodium only means it has 25% less sodium than the original version. Ignore all the flashy claims on the front of the can and look for just two simple phrases. Low sodium, which guarantees 140 milligrams or less per serving, or no salt added. If that's not an option, perform a simple kitchen detox. Drain away all the liquid, and then give the vegetables a thorough rinse under running water. This one small act of defense can wash away the majority of the added sodium, disarming the threat before it ever reaches your plate. And hey, if this feels helpful so far, let us know you're out there by tapping that like button. It tells us to keep making content just like this. 2. Salty snacks. That irresistible urge to finish the whole bag of chips. It's not a failure of willpower. It's a success of food engineering. Salty snacks aren't just food. They are products engineered for hyperpalatability, a scientific term for being so delicious, your brain has a hard time saying stop. These products belong to a category scientists call ultra-processed foods, or UPFs. The key isn't just what's in them, it's what they're made for. They aren't crafted to nourish. They are chemical concoctions, engineered for a long shelf life and maximum profit. And more often than not, it comes at the expense of your health. And the toll on the kidneys is becoming clear. A 2025 meta-analysis combining data from nearly 20,000 people found that those who ate the most ultra-processed foods had a 19% higher relative risk of developing CKD compared to those who ate the least. To put this in perspective, if your baseline risk is 10%, a 19% increase brings it to about 11.9%, not from 10% to 29%. It's a modest but meaningful increase, especially when you consider this is something entirely within your control through food choices. So, what's the most powerful move you can make? It's not just about finding a baked alternative. It's about reclaiming your kitchen from the food engineers. The single best strategy is to simply walk past the snack aisle. Instead, make your own. Roasting some sweet potato slices, choosing some crunchy nuts or seeds, or air-popping popcorn puts you back in the driver's seat, letting you control the ingredients and flavor, not a formula from a lab. Curious about the science behind it all? We've linked the studies that support everything we've shared. You'll find them down in the description box. 1. Uncured meats. You're standing in the deli section and you see it. Uncured in bold letters. No nitrates or nitrites added, declares the label. The asterisk is tiny, easy to miss. The price is higher, sometimes 30 to 40% more, but you reach for it anyway because you've heard the warnings about processed meat. This feels like a smart compromise. You're not giving up your sandwich, but you're choosing the safer version, the responsible version. But what if I told you that label, that uncured promise you're paying premium for, is one of the most clever pieces of marketing deception in the grocery store? Here's what's actually happening. Traditional cured meats use synthetic sodium nitrite for preservation and that characteristic pink color. The health concerns about nitrites are real. In your digestive system, they can convert into compounds called N-nitrosos, which are potentially carcinogenic. Too much nitrite can cause a dangerous blood condition in infants and increase colon cancer risk in adults. So the industry found a workaround. Instead of adding synthetic sodium nitrite, they add celery powder, sea salt, or cherry powder. These sound natural and harmless, right? But your body doesn't distinguish between a synthetic nitrate and a natural one. It converts both into the same potentially carcinogenic compounds called N-nitrosos. That asterisk on the label? It leads to fine print that usually says, except those naturally occurring in celery powder, or similar. It's a legal marketing loophole, not a health upgrade. And for your kidneys specifically, uncured meats deliver the same 3-front assault as their cured cousins. That uncured deli turkey still packs 400 to 600 milligrams of sodium per 2-ounce serving. If you're working with a 1,500 to 2,000 milligram daily sodium budget, that's 20 to 40% gone from a few slices. Plus, processed meats, cured or uncured, often contain phosphate-based additives for moisture retention and texture. For kidneys already struggling with phosphorus regulation and proteinuria, this can create dangerous mineral imbalances and accelerate vascular calcification. Moreover, the concentrated animal protein in meats generates acid during metabolism. Healthy kidneys can neutralize this acid load easily, but compromised kidneys struggle, which can lead to worsening proteinuria and accelerated kidney decline. That uncured label didn't lower the sodium. It didn't remove the phosphates. It didn't change the protein load. It changed the source of nitrites while keeping the end result the same. That uncured label definitely isn't protecting you. It's protecting the manufacturer's ability to market processed meat to health-conscious consumers without changing the fundamental product. The smartest choice isn't switching from cured to uncured. It's stepping away from processed meats entirely and building your diet around fresh, whole protein sources. After navigating a minefield of hidden culprits, it's natural to feel a sense of dietary fatigue, to feel like every choice is a potential threat. Here's what we want you to remember. This isn't about achieving perfection. It's about awareness. Each of these foods doesn't need to be eliminated completely. They need to be understood. The goal is to shift your pattern from regularly relying on these processed options to occasionally having them, while building your diet around the protective foods we'll discuss shortly. So now, we turn the tide. It's time to arm ourselves with the powerful foods that not only protect our kidneys, but actively help them heal, the foods that should make up the bulk of your plate. 3 foods that can help fight proteinuria. 3. Apples. We've all heard the old saying, "An apple a day keeps the doctor away." For generations, we've wondered if it was just a comforting myth. Well, modern science is now confirming that this old wisdom holds true, linking regular apple consumption to a lower risk of chronic diseases. A review of studies from 2012 to 2022 found that apples and their products can help protect against heart disease, cancer, and mild cognitive decline. But the real secret isn't that it works. It's how it works, and it's not for the reason you think. Firstly, unlike many other fruits, apples are naturally low in sodium, potassium, and phosphorus, which kidney patients with proteinuria must carefully monitor. Now, beyond providing vitamins, fruits like apples help neutralize the excess acid produced from protein digestion. Healthy kidneys easily filter this acid, but when function declines, shown by proteinuria, elevated creatinine, or reduced filtration, your kidneys struggle with this cleanup. Apples provide crucial relief for this burden. But the most stunning secret isn't hidden deep inside the apple. It's in the part we often throw away, the peel. An apple's peel contains a shocking concentration of its nutrients. Up to 332% more vitamin K, 142% more vitamin A, and 115% more vitamin C compared to the flesh alone. Now let's be clear, apples aren't a top source of these vitamins compared to other foods. But when you're eating an apple anyway, keeping the peel means you're getting 3 to 4 times more nutrition from the same food. That peel is also rich in pectin, a unique fiber that acts like an internal cleaning crew for your system, binding to bad LDL cholesterol and gently removing it from your body. This helps protect the cardiovascular system that's so vulnerable in kidney disease. So how do we access this incredible nutrition? What is the single best way to unlock the apple's full potential? It's beautifully simple. Wash it thoroughly and eat the whole thing, peel and all. 2. Red cabbage. We often think of cabbage as a humble, everyday vegetable, but recent science invites us to see it in a completely new light. Not as a simple food, but as a sophisticated natural delivery system for remarkable therapeutic compounds. Red cabbage is also naturally low in potassium and phosphorus, making it one of the safest vegetables for the kidney diet, while delivering high levels of vitamin K, vitamin C, and fiber. And here's why color matters. Red cabbage contains antioxidant levels approximately 4.5 times higher than green cabbage. That vibrant purple hue comes from anthocyanins, those powerful plant compounds that research links to cardiovascular protection, reduced inflammation, and cellular defense. Scientists have identified 36 different anthocyanins in red cabbage, including 8 never before detected in any cabbage variety. But for kidney health, especially for seniors managing proteinuria or declining filtration rates, red cabbage's most remarkable weapon is a compound called sulforaphane. Sulforaphane acts as a master switch, activating your cell's dormant defense systems against inflammation and oxidative stress, even in kidney patients. Animal studies show it reduces proteinuria, creatinine, and urea, and small human trials confirm it activates the same protective pathways. While we await large-scale human trials, the evidence supports including sulforaphane-rich vegetables as a low-risk, high-reward strategy. But there's a simple chemical secret to unlocking this power. Sulforaphane only forms when you chop or chew cabbage, releasing the enzyme myrosinase. The critical limitation: this essential enzyme is extremely heat-sensitive. For maximum benefit, eat raw, lightly steam, or let chopped cabbage sit 5 to 10 minutes before cooking. If you prefer cooked cabbage, chop it first and add powdered mustard seeds, which contain heat-resilient myrosinase, to heat-processed cabbage to get more sulforaphane. 1. Coho salmon. We can talk about lab numbers and symptoms all day, but when it comes down to it, there's only one outcome that truly matters: avoiding dialysis. But is it actually possible to eat something that can fundamentally change your odds? Can a single food truly reduce proteinuria and lower your risk of end-stage kidney disease, or ESRD for short? The scientific evidence points to a resounding yes. Salmon is a rich source of omega-3s. A 2017 major meta-analysis analyzed 9 clinical trials involving 444 patients with CKD. They found that omega-3s fatty acid supplementation was associated with a staggering 51% reduction in the risk of progressing to ESRD. Think about what that number means for your future. But here's where it gets specific. Not all salmon are created equal. Coho salmon, also called silver salmon, has medium fat content, delivering substantial omega-3s while keeping calories and minerals moderate. This makes it easier to manage potassium and phosphorus compared to fattier varieties like king salmon. And here's the truly reassuring news about safety. Both wild and farmed coho salmon are exceptionally low in mercury. FDA data shows salmon contains only 0.022 parts per million, far below the 0.5 parts per million safety threshold. A study published in Environmental Toxicology and Chemistry specifically tested both farmed and wild coho salmon from British Columbia and found that methylmercury levels in all samples ranged between 0.03 to 0.1 micrograms per gram, well below Health Canada's consumption guidelines. What makes coho particularly kidney-friendly is its delicate, mild flavor and medium flaky texture, making it more palatable for CKD patients dealing with taste changes. Unlike the intensely flavored sockeye or the fattier king salmon, coho's subtle taste profile makes it easier to incorporate into a renal diet consistently. And consistency is what delivers results. So, what is the therapeutic dose? The key is precision. The recommended serving is 3 ounces of cooked salmon, about the size and thickness of a deck of cards, enjoyed 1 to 2 times per week. This controlled approach gives you kidney protection from omega-3s without overloading the very minerals your compromised kidneys are struggling to balance. Again, if you're in later stages of CKD, like 3B to 5, or if your labs show elevated potassium or phosphorus, you'll need to discuss with your dietitian whether salmon fits your specific plan and at what portion size. Takeaway. So today we've navigated the minefield of hidden dietary traps and armed you with the tools to fight back. But the ultimate lesson here isn't just a new list of good and bad foods. It's the understanding that for kidney health and proteinuria, context is king. And the most decisive forces at play are often the invisible agents within our food, the additives, the processing, and the hidden compounds. The most significant decision you can make for your kidneys, then, isn't just what you eat, but understanding the hidden story of how it got to your plate. Opt for real food, minimally processed, in appropriate portions. It's not dramatic. It's not expensive. But over time, these small decisions compound into significant kidney protection. Now, we'd love to hear from you. After this journey, what is the one single insight that has changed your perspective the most? Share your aha moment in the comments below. We're reading every single response, and we believe that your insights help build a community where we all learn from each other's experiences. We want to thank you for being here, for listening, for having the courage to embark on this journey of discovering what truly benefits your health. A journey that isn't easy, but is worth more than anything else. Hit the bell icon and turn on all notifications so you never miss a life-saving video. The sooner you spot kidney issues, the more you can do to keep things under control. If you're unsure about your kidney health and haven't been in a good shape recently, check out the video on the screen. Here, we cover all the possible symptoms, helping you spot kidney failure and take action effectively if needed. See you there. Stay informed, stay healthy.